Hi my angels and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Kaushal. It's basically like the word social but with a K instead of an S. Today I have got this makeup look for you guys. This is basically... had a little bit of lipstick on my teeth there. But this is basically the makeup look that has been my go-to of the moment. This is the makeup look which has been my kind of glam go-to makeup look of the moment. I do switch my lipstick up every now and again. Everything will be listed in the info box below for you guys. But enough of me blabbering. If you guys would like to see how I got this makeup look, including all of the products that I'm loving at the moment, then please keep watching. Jumping straight in, I am starting off with primer. I'm using the Fenty primer. This has become like one of my favorite primers. I love it because I feel like it's a moisturizer and primer in one. Two birds, one stone. Means I can be quick with this makeup look. Especially because I've been wearing it so much. I feel like I've gotten so quick at it, but I just love the feeling of this. It's really like lightweight as well. It's nothing too heavy. For foundation, I'm going to go in with my Wonderglow first. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. I have been loving putting this on before my foundation. Sometimes I'll mix it into my foundation, but this basically makes my skin look so nice and glowy, especially in flash photography. So I'm just putting a good layer of this all over. Now, actually moving on to foundation, I'm using a mixture of these two foundations. This is the YSL All Hours, and this is the Fenty Beauty Foundation. This one is in the shade BD30, and this is the shade 290. This, I find, the more I've worn it, the more I feel like it is a little bit yellow on my skin. I can only tell that in pictures sometimes, or like video. In real life, it's fine, but it really bugs me that in pictures it picks up the yellow a bit more. So I'm just mixing the two on the back of my hand. And then I'm taking my damp blender. This is actually from Fenty as well. And I am just bouncing that all over my face. This foundation for me lasts so well on my skin. I once wore it for something ridiculous like 10 or 11 hours and my base was looking so good at the end of the day. I know I got some really weird comments on my last video on the Hoola Beauty Foundation review. Just so that I'm putting this out there, a lot of you guys already know this, but I don't like setting the whole of my face with powder unless I'm going for like full coverage, especially when a foundation claims to be matte, semi-matte powder finish. I'm like, why would I put powder on top? But this is just a friendly reminder to let you guys know that products that work for me may not work for you, or they might work the same for you or even better than it works for me, and products which don't work for me may work amazingly for you. So yeah, I'm just putting that out there. But I'm going to finish off the rest of my base. I'm going to take my usual Maybelline Eraser Eye. This I feel like I've been just using for so many years. I just love the feel and the look of it. And I just love how easy it is to put on. And to add a little bit more coverage just underneath my eyes, I am taking the All Hours Concealer. I either switch between this or the Tarte Shape Tape, but today I thought I'd go for this. This is in the shade number 2, and it just ups the coverage very slightly. But now that I've got it in all of the areas that I generally like to highlight and conceal, I'm just going to blend that all away using that same Fenty foundation sponge. And then to set everything in place, I'm actually going to take this over my eyelids because I know a lot of you guys like it when I do this. I'm just going to take whatever's left on the rest of my sponge. Okay, so now I'm going to set everything. This is the Fenty powder. This is called the Invismatte Blotting Powder. I'm just going to take this underneath my eyes. I like this because it's really finely milled. It kind of feels like you're putting nothing on your skin. Makeup in general, I like my full coverage foundations to feel like really lightweight on my skin. And that includes like concealers, powders, all of that jazz. I am going to take a tiny bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless... the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. And I'm just going to take that just to add a little bit more brightness underneath my eyes. I'm going over my eyelids as well. Whenever I do this look when I'm not filming, it literally takes me about 20 or 25 minutes, just because I know exactly what I'm using and I know what I'm doing and I can really quickly get it onto my face. And it also means that I kind of skip out certain steps, one of them being cream contouring. So I'm going to take my powder contour kit right here. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'm just going to take a mixture of these two shades right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and start carving some cheekbones out. And not forgetting the hairline and jawline as well. For my nose contour, I'm going to take my Hoola. I love this because I love the brush that it comes with, and I literally do the quickest nose contour of life, and I just hug it on the sides of my nose like that. And it looks a bit crazy right now, but we are going to blend all the lines in. So I'm taking the foundation end of my beauty blender and I'm just going over those lines. Moving on to blush, I've still not been able to put this down. I feel like it's been well over a year. But this is the NYX Sweet Cheek palette, and I think I'm going to take a mixture of these two shades right here. I do always switch up my blushes. I generally kind of use one of these shades here. They are quite pigmented, so you don't need too much, but it just gives me a nice flush of colour on my cheeks. So for highlight, I am taking this Makeup Revolution Ultra Pro Glow Kit. And I think I'm just going to take a mixture of these kind of top shades right here and get them onto my cheekbones. This is very, very pigmented, as you can see. It's actually picking it up on camera quite well. If I hadn't have seen that, I probably would have added way more, but I definitely don't need any more. Gonna do the same on this cheek. And I actually love how creamy these are. They don't feel like a powder on your skin. They feel really, really nice and like melted into the skin, if you know what I mean. So if anyone is looking for a new highlight palette, then definitely check this one out. It is really, really, really good, and it's super affordable as well. I'm just going to take a little bit more bronzer shade and just blend the bronzer and the highlight together. So it's got like a nice seamless kind of finish to it, because before you could kind of see like a stripe of colour, whereas now it's nice and kind of blended in. You guys have seen me do this quite a lot of times, but I'm going to take the Dewy finish or any kind of luminous finish setting spray, and I'm just going to spray the area that we applied the highlight, and this is going to make it pop a little bit more. Maybe spray it into my mouth. And then taking my beauty blender again, I'm just going to push that into the skin, so it makes it really nice and melted in even more. I very quickly filled my brows in, and I totally forgot to put one more highlight on top. And this is something that I've been doing quite a lot recently, only because I just love this highlight, and that is Trophy Wife, and it looks really intense in the palette. But what I like to do is I like to take a big kind of fluffy blending brush, and I dip it in like a couple of times, so you can see there's product on there. I tap it off very slightly, and then I just apply it to the tops of my cheeks, and it gives a really subtle like golden hue to my highlight, but I really like doing this. I'm just doing the same thing on this cheek and a little bit up into my brow bone. And looking at it up close in a mirror, you can kind of see the gold specks on there, and I just think it looks really, really pretty. So I've been doing that a lot recently, so I had to make sure I put that on top. I'm going to move on to eyes, and this is honestly one of the like easiest eye looks that I've been doing. Actually, when it comes to a lot of makeup looks that I personally love wearing and I get obsessed with wearing, are very, very simple. This one is a bronzy kind of eye, but I just love the outcome and finish of it. Without blabbering, I'm just going to get on with it. I'm taking my Charlotte Tilbury Chameleon, and this is in the shade Amber Haze. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this as a thick line on to my eyelid, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to feather out and blend out the edges. You can use any kind of brush for this. I'm using like a flat synthetic brush, just so, because we don't want that line to be super duper harsh. And this stuff does not budge. It is so good, and it comes in a whole bunch of different colours, but this is the only one I got. I got this years ago, and it's still doing strong. I just love the tone of it. Again, I'm just going to blend those edges out. And then what I do like doing is I like kind of going over, just so that it's nice and intense. But we are going to go over this with some more colours. So don't you worry. So the eyeshadow palette that I've been using a heck of a lot for this go-to glam look of mine is this palette right here. This is the Dolce Vita palette by Charlotte Tilbury. I just love every single shade in this palette. But I'm going to take this glittery bronzy shade right here. I'm just going to use it on that same flat kind of synthetic brush. I like to really get in there, really kind of like mush the brush in there because it's almost like a pressed glitter. But then what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to go over the area that we applied the amber haze. And this just adds like a slight hint of glitter. I don't know whether you guys can see it or if the camera is picking it up, but it just adds like a slight kind of goldy, bronzy shimmeriness to the lid. And I just love the way that this looks. It looks like you've spent so much time on this eyeshadow look, but really it's super, super easy. So we have the eyelid done. I'm just going to work on the crease, and I'm actually going to take a mixture of both of these shades right here. There's like a warm red shade and like a brownie shade, and I'm just going to take that into the crease and just really blend that out and buff it out. I'm trying to take more of this shade right here than the red one because I don't want it to be too red looking. I just want it to be nice and diffused out. And this honestly, like in real life and even in pictures, it looks like you've spent so much time creating this like bronzy kind of smoked out eye. And I love that it's like minimal products. It's not like too many crazy amount of products. It's one palette and one eyeshadow stick. I'm just taking a clean, fluffy blending brush and I'm blending out all of those edges. Before going in with the highlight shade, I'm going to take the same highlight shade from that quad and I'm going to apply that on to the brow bone. And again, this is a stunning highlight shade. It doesn't look too like crazy, anything special like in the palette, but when you put it on, you're like, whoa. And that is the top part of the eyes all done. You can actually go in with this shade right here and put it on into the inner corners. But now we're going to work on the lash line. I'm taking my L'Oreal Infallible Gel Eyeliner. This is the black one. And I'm going to align my upper and lower waterlines with this. With the lower waterline, I am going to be a little bit messy because we are going to go ahead and kind of smoke that out. So don't worry about that. We're going to sort that out. Now that my lower lash line is looking quite like thick and almost a little bit messy, I'm going to take this shade, again, this is the dark brown shade, onto a pencil brush and basically tap off any excess, and then I'm just going to smoke that lower lash line out. And again, it doesn't matter if it's looking messy, it's supposed to be quite smoky. And then I do bring this up very slightly and kind of wing it out very, very slightly, because this looks really nice once we have like our lashes and everything on. And now just doing the same thing onto the other eye. I have just very quickly popped some mascara and lashes on. The mascara I used was none other than my false lash Sculpt, and the lashes I used were the Lily lashes in the style Opulence. These are also the lashes that I wore in my last video. I know I got loads of questions about my lashes, so these were the ones. So now that I have my lashes and mascara all on, I am going to take some black eyeshadow, and I'm using Crave, which is from the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette, and on an angled brush I'm saturating that with the black shadow, and then all I'm doing is I am covering that line up of the lash band, and then it also looks a little bit more like a winged eye kind of, because you've got the kind of flick going up very, very slightly. Sometimes I do actually go and intensify it like that, and then I take my pencil brush and just blend that line out so it looks even more like a bit of a wing. This I just find makes the look a little bit more glam, but I'm going to take this dark brown shade one more time on a fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to work that into the crease a little bit more so it's nice and intense. This does have a slight bit of shimmer into it, so if you want to use a bronzer, you totally can. But I just love the way that all the shimmery colours just kind of really blend into each other. And this is a look that you can wear for pretty much any event you have coming up. It's very glamorous, like the eyes are very nice and intense. And now that the eyes are all done, I am going to move on to lips. I'm taking my Mahogany Lip Liner from NYX, and I'm just very slightly lining the whole of my lips and very slightly filling them in as well. There are a whole bunch of lip colours that I've been loving at the moment. I'm going to list them all in the info box, but I've got 3 right here. I feel like I'm going to do a mixture of 2. I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury shade and this Primark lipstick. This one is in the shade Charlotte Darling, and it's such a stunning liquid lipstick. So I'm putting this on all over. And then on top of that, I'm going over it with the shade Naked, and this is from Primark, and it's probably one of my favourite Primark makeup products. It's so comfortable to wear, and I think it was £1. So you honestly cannot go wrong with it. And it's super comfortable. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it is really, really comfortable. Last but not least, I'm going to set everything. I'm using my all-nighter, and I'm giving my face a good few spritz. So this, you guys, is my go-to glam of the moment, using some of my favorite products of the moment as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am so obsessed with this makeup look. I don't know when I'm going to stop wearing this look because I just love how easy and quick yet glamorous it is. I'm all about the ease when it comes to makeup and wearing it out for events, because usually I'm in a rush and I just want something foolproof. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and this makeup look. Please leave me comments below of what you would like to see next on my channel, and hopefully I will see you guys all in the next one.